Hello guys, today I talk inspiration. When I say inspiration, I mean people who do, say, or look in a way that touches you and you feel them. I have a couple of people that I think I draw inspiration from. Let's go through my list and see if we have anyone in common. In this list, parents, siblings, cousins, or close associates out of the list. We are going public figures. Let's see. I have with me a guide or a list of people from where to choose from. I'll add a couple, I'll take a couple, I'll leave quite a number. First, political leaders. In the world of politics, let me see, run through my list. I have Nelson Mandela, Mahatma Gandhi, Winston Churchill, George Washington, Martin Luther King Jr., Cleopatra, Alexander the Great, Queen Elizabeth, Julius Caesar, Emperor Ashoka. Just 10. Of course, we can have many, many more. Out of this list, let me say Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela ticks. I like that story. 27 years in jail, you fight for freedom, non-violence, you come out, take leadership, but then you don't overstay. Just one term, say enough, I just wanted freedom, not to die in power. Nelson Mandela. I'll also take Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi is inspirational in this sense. This guy wanted India and Pakistan as one, the Muslim and the Hindu as one. They fought against the British, they won, but then they want to split. Religious segregation. No, he doesn't want this. He wants a united nation. But as fate would have it, it takes his life. Mahatma. Those walks barefoot. Oh my God. What a sacrifice. So Mahatma in my list. Number 3. Martin Luther King. Martin Luther ticks. Not for so much, but that speech. I have a dream that one day, very memorable, very inspirational. Sometimes you don't need to do a lot. You just need to do one small thing and it will remain in history. Of course, he didn't just do one thing, he did a lot. In fact, he died in the process. But that speech, Martin Luther King, I don't see any other person in the list for me, though I would add Barack Obama. Barack Obama is this Kenyan outsider who comes in, everyone writes him off. Underdog. He wins the Senate and becomes a senator, and then goes on to take the biggest job in the world. All the punters are like, we're not going to make it. It has never happened, it will not happen. and then he makes it. And to top it up, he becomes a good leader. I think I liked his leadership, and I liked how he talked, and I liked the enthusiasm. Barack Obama is in my list. Lastly, I'll add Raila Odinga. Lost 5 times in election for presidency. You can talk about him as that perennial loser. But Raila Odinga is the real deal. And what makes him tick? Raila is always written off as old, aged, cannot be, last chance, but he keeps on evolving. He keeps on recreating himself. And then I like another thing about Raila Odinga. Peace. War. Peace. Raila will always choose peace. He can sacrifice anything for peace. And because of that peace, I am taking this video. Maybe, just maybe, this may not be happening if he was that no retreat, no surrender guy who says, wacha kiumane. Peace. I also like his politics. He's this kind of a guy whom you never know. If you think he's going left, he's actually going right. And he is right. If you think he's going right, you are left behind. So that is as far as politicians is concerned. Mandela, Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Barack Obama, Raila Odinga. 5. Next in my list is scientists and inventors. Number 1, and probably the only one in my list. Though, before I give you my person, let me read what I have in this list here. Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein, Marie Curie, Nikola Tesla, Galileo Galilei, Charles Darwin, Thomas Edison, Stephen Hawking, Alexander Fleming, Ada Lovelace. But I go with Marie Curie or Marie Curie. The first woman to win a Nobel Prize and the only person to win in 2 sciences, physics and chemistry. She discovered radioactivity and isolated radium and polonium. Her work led to breakthroughs in cancer treatment and nuclear science. Go look up this lady, Marie Curie. This is the real deal. The real deal, trust me. And I also like the fact that a lady winning a Nobel Peace Prize, courtesy of chemistry. How many ladies out there love chemistry? And how many love physics? And how many excel in it? Marie Curie, you are an inspiration. I don't think I have any other person on that list. I know you'll say, oh, Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein, blah, blah, blah. I stick with Marie Curie, and that's the one and only. After scientists and inventors, I go to humanitarians and activists. Humanitarians and activists. Remember, I've already talked about Martin Luther King as a political leader. I would also talk about him as an activist. But because I have a big list here, I think I should take someone else for a balance. What's my list? My list has Mahatma Gandhi again, Mother Teresa, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King Jr., Malala Yousafzai, Desmond Tutu, Rosa Parks, Oscar Schindler, Dorothy Day, and Harriet Tubman. 10 people. I'll go with 1, Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa is my lady. Founded the Missionary of Charity in Calcutta, serving the sick, dying, and abandoned. Her radical compassion earned her the Nobel Peace Prize. She believed in doing small things with great love, and her legacy continues through thousands of volunteers worldwide. Mother Teresa. You see, this lady that sacrifices her whole life, technically, to go, sit, dine, and sleep with the dying. You got somebody down there who is ailing from cancer. Everyone wants them away or out. Mother Teresa will say, come in. Or if she doesn't say come in, she goes in herself. Mother Teresa. Big, big heart. Number 2, Malala Yousafzai. Malala. Shot by the Taliban for advocating girls' education, Malala survived and became a global voice for children's rights. She won the Nobel Peace Prize at 17. Her courage and eloquence continue to inspire youth to stand up for education and equality. Malala Yousafzai, a young lady in school, short, but still says no. I don't want terrorism. I don't want anti-Christian or whatever it is. What I want is peace. What I want is stability. What I want is love. All we need in this world is love, man. Malala Yousafzai. Read about her. You'll get to know more about her and you'll love her. Do I have any other person here? Yes, Rosa Parks. Refused to give up her bus seat in 1955, igniting the Montgomery bus boycott. Her quiet defiance became a powerful symbol of resistance. Parks' courage helped launch the civil rights movement and proved that one act can change history. Rosa Parks gets onto a bus and takes a seat. But then, what used to happen those days is, in buses, the blacks could sit in designated seats for the blacks and the whites in designated seats for the whites. So, she goes and sits in the black seats. Okay. And then they go. But then more white people enter or board the bus. And the rule was, when a white person enters and there's no vacant seat, if you are a black person, you have to rise up and go far back in on that bus and squeeze whether there is space or not. But Rosa Parks says, no. First I sat on a black seat, meant for black people. That's enough. I can't go back there. I sat here, you came, found me, take another bus or stand. And she refuses. And people seeing that courage decides, we are not boarding those buses. And it goes on and on and on until change is received or is earned or attained. Rosa Parks. So Rosa Parks, Malala Yousafzai, and Mother Teresa. Humanitarians and activists, chapter closed. We move on. Artists and creatives. Artists and creatives. Here we have Leonardo da Vinci, or Leonardo da Vinci, whichever way you want to pronounce it. Michelangelo, Buonarroti, Pablo Picasso, Frida Kahlo, Claude Monet, or Claude Monet, Rembrandt van Rijn, Georgia O'Keeffe, Andy Warhol, Salvador Dali. I don't have anybody to choose here. Although Leonardo da Vinci painting of Mona Lisa is wonderful, but I'm not a lot into such kind of art, so forgive me. Leonardo, Michelangelo, Vincent van Gogh, Picasso. Let's move on. Athletes and sports legends. Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, Serena Williams, Usain Bolt, Pele, Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Jackie Robinson, Martina Navratilova, Diego Maradona. 10. You know me, Lionel Messi. You know Messi. I don't need to describe him. The GOAT. Known for his dribbling, vision, record-breaking goals, Messi won multiple Ballon d'Ors and led Argentina to World Cup glory in 2022. Despite his quiet demeanor, his brilliance speaks volumes. He's a symbol of consistency, humility, and magic on the pitch. Underline the last phrase, magic on the pitch. Lionel Messi wins it, hands down. Then 2. Oh, and by the way, talking about Messi, he made me support Barcelona, and he made me support Argentina. I'll never forget France versus Argentina, the World Cup final. My, oh my, Messi is Messi. Another one is Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt. Speed, guys, speed. 3 medals in Olympic. Next Olympic, 9 medals, gold medals in Olympic. 100 meter, 3 of them. 200 meters, 3 of them. 4 by 100 meters, 3 of them. Man, what else do you want? That's Usain Bolt. 9 seconds, imagine. Do I have any other person in the list? Okay, you can say Ronaldo, Michael Jordan. Oh, yes. Let me add just one person. I was going through the list, the rest of the list, to see if my one and only Bruce Lee is there, and he's not there. That is a legend, Bruce Lee. Put him wherever you want. whether in athletes, whether in sports, though that was not sports really, was it? Or actor, but we can't miss him in my list. Bruce Lee must be there. I love that guy so much. Okay. Next up is business and tech innovators. In my list, I have Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Larry Page, Thomas Edison, Ada Lovelace again, Henry Ford, and Jack Ma. Now, in this list, I have two people, but I'll take one. I have Steve Jobs and I have Jack Ma. I go with Steve Jobs. Now, I know you'll say, oh, because iPhone, oh, because MacBook, oh, because Apple. No, not that. Take you back all the way to his birth. He's born, the parents realize he's a boy, the parents are still young in school, so they dispose him to an orphanage. And then in the orphanage, people come and they're like, no, we don't want a boy, we want a girl. And then some farmer comes and says, I can take any gender, boy or girl. And they take Steve Jobs. And Steve Jobs becomes this icon. That history, that build-up is everything to me. Steve Jobs, you can always make it, whatever the circumstance you are coming from. Steve Jobs. So the rest, Zuckerberg, oh, Jack Ma, Elon Musk, no. Educators and thinkers. Here we have Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, Confucius, John Dewey, Maria Montessori, Paulo Freire, Jean Piaget, Immanuel Kant, Malcolm Knowles. Of course, the ones I believe you know a lot about are Confucius, Aristotle, Plato, and Socrates. I take none of those, though quite some inspiration from the latter three, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, but not in this list. Instead, when you talk about educators and thinkers, I am thinking about authors and writers, and I'm going with William Shakespeare. I like that guy. The Merchant of Venice, Romeo and Juliet, and the other stuff he did. That guy is great, trust me. Then I also take Betty Niels. This author who is a nurse and retires at say 50 or early 60s, and then goes to a library, sees there are no interesting books, goes back home, takes a typewriter, and types 200 love or romance novels. That to me is heroic. Imagine being an author of 200 books, and they are novels. It's not like a one-page script, a novel, 200 of them in your retirement, and the books make quite a sale out there. Betty Niels, of course. If you doubt me, go look for her books like Polly. There's another book called Stormy Springtime. Yeah, those books, they'll get you at the edge of your seat. Do I have any other person I've talked about? Oh, Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens is also this big author who likes writing about poor upbringing or poor beginnings and then success in the end. His books like The Great Expectations, Oliver Twist, they are wonderful books. The others I've not read them, but those two, very, very nice. I even have a movie by the name of Oliver Twist. Very interesting movie. Not mine. I just check it on YouTube. Oliver Twist. So Charles Dickens, Betty Nichols, William Shakespeare, authors, powerful. We move on to entertainers and pop culture. Entertainers and pop culture. Let me give you the list here. Michael Jackson. I'm checking to see that I don't have Michael Jackson because that one is a direct entry here. Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley, Oprah Winfrey, Madonna, Beyonce, Charlie Chaplin, Prince, Lucille Ball, Freddie Mercury, and Marilyn Monroe. I have 3 people, but I'll take 2. First, I have Michael Jackson, I have Charlie Chaplin, I have Marilyn Monroe. So I'll take 2. Who are they? I'll take Charlie Chaplin, and then I'll take Michael Jackson. But I'll add a 3rd one onto this list, and that is Mr. Bean, or if you like, Rowan Atkinson. So Rowan or Mr. Bean, then we have Charlie Chaplin, and lastly we have Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson ticks for me, man. I like the songs. Which song is my favorite, by the way? Quite a number, quite a number. Michael Jackson is just that guy. Then we have Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Bean. I like humor, and that person does nice humor. Charlie Chaplin, we call them slapstick comedy. Yeah, where I don't talk much, I just do stuff that you consider funny. Charlie Chaplin, very, very funny. Watch The Trump by Charlie Chaplin and you'll know what I'm talking about. We move on. Local heroes and community leaders. Here, the only persons I know are Patrick Otieno Lumumba, PLO, and Wangari Maathai. But the others, I do not know these people. Oh, there is Auma Obama. Let me give you the list. Jane Addams, Wangari Maathai, Fred Rogers, Clara Barton, Father Gregory Boyle, Auma Obama, Brian Stevenson, Leima Bowie, Todd Ball, Patrick Otieno Lumumba. I take no one. No one here fits the bill. I'm sorry. We move on. Women. Special for women. Let's see. Do I have any woman here that I consider great? The list is Marie Curie, Mother Teresa, Rosa Parks, Malala Yousafzai, Queen Elizabeth, Harriet Tubman, Florence Nightingale, Cleopatra, Amelia Earhart, Oprah Winfrey. I think I have already made my choices and I already have them here. Marie Curie, Mother Teresa, Rosa Parks, Malala Yousafzai. I think those ones are enough for me. So we move on. I've exhausted the list. Now, let me take you through the many people I've talked about, and let's see who inspires me and inspires me big deal. Not in order. If I were to put it in order, that would be headache, because some of these guys are wonderful. Placing them second or third would be crazy. Anyways, let me run through the list. Nelson Mandela, Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Barack Obama, Raila Odinga, Lionel Messi, Usain Bolt, Bruce Lee, Steve Jobs, Marie Curie, Mother Teresa, Malala Yousafzai, Rosa Parks, William Shakespeare, Betty Niels, Charles Dickens, Rowan Atkinson, Charlie Chaplin, Michael Jackson. I know you must have some people in my list, in your list. Thank you for watching.